The FitArt's pole systems are called freestanding, but this definition could be misleading. To realize solutions totally independent from walls and ceilings, at least 3 ground support points are required. In the floor-to-ceiling or wall installation of the uprights, very reliable fixings are needed. Here are described the 8 most common applications. Floor-to-wall applications can be divided into 3 types: central upright, where the shelves position centrally to the upright; closet upright, where the shelves position between the wall and the upright, which can also accept the closing doors thanks to its frontal positioning; wall upright, where the shelves facing freely towards the room. On the other hand, for ceiling applications, in addition to 3 previous ones and with a fixing that moves from the wall to the ceiling, there are 2 other variants. Central upright, which can be also used in the center of the room, always with the shelves positioned centrally to the upright. Bifacial upright, with the bifacial shelves to the upright, manageable from both sides of the room center. Sometimes, for all these types of compositions, it happens to hear a remark such as, "the weight unloads on the floor," but in some configurations this evaluation can be risky. In fact, most of the described configurations involve torque levers caused by the weight moving away from the optimal load point, even starting from the lowest shelves. So, very reliable fixings are necessary because there are normally only a few anchorage points available, 1 or 2 points, although some fixing plates or feet are provided for double dowel. When you face difficult installation conditions, with dowels that do not hold properly at the fixing points or other inconveniences, there is always the possibility to multiply the fixing points, for example, by adding a transom towards the wall or by inserting orthogonal bracing. In some cases, aesthetic compromises should be reached, as every element will remain visible. To fix the upright through grounded elements can be also a solution. All models use a series of very strong 90 degrees joints. Each of them makes the transoms integral with the upright and is able to withstand tensile stresses up to 15 kN. The blocking of the joint to the transom is done with a double through hole drilled in the transoms TR5 and TRL. Thanks to a slider that moves on axis at 45 degrees to the screw pitch, which, as it turns, provides highly effective pressure between the transom and the upright. PR5 joints are manufactured in 5 models. These are distinguished by the different types of couplings they make to the upright: 2 couplings for slotted racks, single and double, 2 sliding inserts, wide and narrow, 1 frontal insertion. The use of uprights for shelving in the furnishing can create attractive and scenic design solutions, but large rooms with a broad compositional scope are the most recommended for their application, while the use of uprights in small rooms sometimes leads to an unattractive cage effect. If the purpose is merely to equip a storage room, this may be acceptable, but a wall-slotted rack, in such cases, makes better use of a space with lower costs. Periodically, the decision to use central uprights is determined by the presence of plasterboard walls or recesses for sliding doors. With a complete FitArt's component system, all 8 freestanding solutions described before can become a complement in the configuration of spaces, the design of which starts with the wall cladding with NB or P-cased profiles, with or without slotted racks, and with or without paneling. The design starts from cladding or from the way to equip the wall, to expand gradually in the space, meeting the compositional requirements with freestanding elements. This brings to various hybrid solutions that allow each space to be solved in the best possible way. Let's take an example of a difficult scenario of setting up a wall with uprights and shelves. The wall is made of gypsum or even aerated concrete, where the dowels have an average hold of no more than 10-15 kg or can reach maximum 30 kg in the presence of a double slab. In any case, it would be insufficient for direct application of any upright. The false ceiling hasn't any structural strength or possibility to insert a recessed reinforcing element for the upright expanders. This scenario could be easily solved by paneling the entire wall with, for example, melamine-faced panels fixed on NP0 profiles which, with 4 fixing points every 22 cm, evenly distribute the load to be borne by the countercladding. In this way, the few fixing points of the uprights are anchored to reliable cladding, capable to hold in a proper way the load of the entire frame. The characteristic feature of all FitArt supports for freestanding system, whether they slide on the central axis of the upright or are inserted into the slotted rack, is that the shelf can work in 2 different modes. Resting on support, particularly suitable for glass and slabs, using with suction pads, or screwed to support, giving total freedom in the choice of materials and their thicknesses. In case of the shelves resting on supports, the use of TR5 transom as a connecting crossbar between the uprights is highly recommended in order to guarantee structural stability. With the shelves screwed to supports, the shelf itself becomes an element that participates in the structural stability of the composition, and the transom is optional, considering always the type of application and the use it is meant for. We call FTL freestanding profile a closet upright, because it is able to replace the structure of a traditional wooden cabinet closet. The parts of the sides, bases, pegs and ceilings are normally required to build a cabinet, whereas with FTL they become optional. In case some of these parts would be needed, they can also be added, but none of them would represent an indispensable structural element. This approach saves up to 80% of wood used by a typical wardrobe and greatly reduces volume as well as handling and logistics costs. The FTL closet upright is positioned in front of the shelf and it is connected to the wall by a TRL transom jointed at 90 degrees. The FTL position is functional to receive swing doors on standard hinges. The depth can be easily customized by cutting TRL to size. Cutting it on the opposite side of the hole used by the joint, the assembly kit does not require any further modifications. In its 5 cm depth, the upright solves all structural nodes: fixing and adjustment of the hinges, fixing of stop door crossbar, adjustment guide of side and orthogonal crossbars, 2 lateral cable ducts for lighting elements, double internal slotted profile, adjustable in height to receive supports. By choosing from the FitArt's range of accessories, many customizations can be achieved with the freestanding systems. It is possible to supplement the offer with other furniture components, as it is a range designed for maximum compositional versatility.